Hello everybody, I am back with another cosplay review, yay! This time it is Ayaka from Genshin Impact, and I'm super excited about this one. Before I get started into anything about it, I'm sorry if I look terrible and sound terrible. The time of recording this, I just got back from Anime Weekend Atlanta, which was a super fun time and I enjoyed it so greatly. But I may have girl bossed a little bit too hard because I am exhausted and my voice is a little shot. But I'm so ready to do this. Let's go. Alright, so to begin with, Ayaka is once again from DokiDoki Cosplay, and just to go on a small side tangent here, I know DokiDoki Cosplay has had very mixed reviews of people, with some people saying it takes far too long, that the cosplay is not up to their standards, that kind of thing. And that is all well and good. Just because I have experiences with DokiDoki Cos that may be positive or negative does not mean that I am endorsing you to 100% get it or 100% not get it. It's all sort of up to what you want to do. They do have a Taobao site that you can try and get things a little bit faster. I have heard of people doing that. But I personally did get from directly DokiDoki Cosplay again. Mostly because I'm still not super familiar with Taobao. And also because, well, I just saw this Ayaka and I was like, this is the one that I want. And I didn't even think about anything else. I was actually really nervous if this was even going to get here in time for the convention that I ordered it for, which was Katsucon. It obviously did. It's November now. Katsucon is in February. But, you know, I just heard so many horror stories about the DokiDoki shipping times that I was like, oh no, this is bad. Alright, so let's just start unpacking this. Let's see, the first thing that I have is the breastplate. So this breastplate is actually pretty much the main reason that I wanted to get this particular cosplay. I don't like the look of the like almost satin type that a lot of companies use, because nobody's actually going to be making like, I mean from a cosplay shop, like an armored breastplate. This is kind of made out of a faux leather. The design is kind of ironed on there. It's very sparkly and pretty. You see. The back is buttons actually, which is great. I was kind of worried it was Velcro, which, you know, sometimes is not like the easiest. But with buttons, it does come with 3 of them, so you can adjust it to make it a little bit bigger if you need to. So it's like rows of 3 by 3 by 3. And overall it just looks good. It's kind of like folded around here, kind of where the breast sits. I'm guessing that's to get the shape. I'm not sure if this will work on all breast sizes or if it'll look kind of silly. I'll find out when I actually have it on. But overall, I really like the look of it. I like how this thread is. Yes, so far so good. They don't have anything to like attach like any kind of invisible straps to, so you're going to want this to be nice and tight against you. Alrighty, so next up is the actual main part of her dress. So this is the first time I've gotten this. It actually comes with a tag. You can kind of see here. So this is the Taobao company that DokiDoki is the like official English licensor of. They have a link to their TikTok and a couple other Chinese social media apps that you could give them a follow. Again, the only way to get through the actual site without using DokiDoki is to use like a Taobao agent. I hear Biner is probably one of the easier ones, but I'm sure with enough research you could find plenty. So I don't know how well you can pick up on it in camera, but it's a really gorgeous fabric. Really pretty. It shines really nicely. There's a ton of hidden details. The gold here is beautiful. Even the buttons have a little detail on them. And then if I flip it to the back, she has this little symbol you can kind of see here. It's all stitched in, which is really nice, so you know it's not going anywhere. The zipper is in the back, and it goes all the way from up here to way far down, which I always appreciate when zippers go really far down, because obviously that gives you more room to try and wiggle into it. It almost looks a little strange without the breastplate on it, you know what I mean? But still super pretty. You can see the gold detailing that she has on the inside is there. Everything is just printed on absolutely beautifully. Yes, I'm very excited to see what this looks like actually on. But just looking at it here, it is, at the very least, incredibly beautiful. So I'm going to call this next section Ayaka's, like, waist things. So first off, we have these, her little armor parts that kind of just hang out on the side. They have the exact same really pretty gold that is on her chest, which is nice. It looks really good. It's obviously not as heavily detailed as the breastplate because these are more on just her side, whereas the breastplate's like front and center. So I don't really mind that. But if you were looking for the exact same kind of quality as the breastplate, you're not going to quite find it with these. Like there's one little loose thread here, but I still think it works great for what I need it for. And I am perfectly happy with that. But these are held up on just this little black belt thing. It also has buttons, so you can make it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. And included on that, this has got to be a strong belt, is her really big butt bow. So as you can see, it's super beautiful, but the only way to have this up is to push the belt through this loop part. So you've got all of that kind of holding on to this belt. So this is another thing you're going to want to have nice and tight against your skin because otherwise it's going to sag really bad. So go. There you go. And there you go. So once I try it on, I'll see like how tight I can get it and how well it holds all of the weight of everything, because on her bow, she has more accessories that I'll get into in just a second. So like I said, she does have accessories on her bow, and that would be these two items. So the vision kind of just hangs out there, and then this is behind the vision. Both of these have nothing more than safety pins to kind of attach them. So the vision is metal and pretty heavy. I may or may not replace the safety pin just because this is pretty heavy. It did not come with batteries, which is fine. It says on it they can't ship batteries or whatever. But you can see here where it would go and the vision would light up. I do not know if I will end up actually getting batteries for this. Mostly because when I plan to wear her, it'll be mostly light out. You probably won't get to see it super well. So, you know, I don't know if it's worth the effort or not, but that is something you can add. And then this, it took me a second to realize even what this was. I kind of wish that like they had found a way to attach this to the vision so that they were all just together and then I'd only have one thing to clip on rather than trying to clip two things on. But that's something I can always do for myself if I think it's possible. Or there could have been a reason they didn't do that and it's just way too hard to try and get everything all together. But there it is. And again, these hang off of her bow, which is on that belt. Okay, so the next piece is this. So this is going to go on right here and then it's supposed to go around. It's not going around on me, I can assure you that. So you can kind of see here. Luckily, I can just extend this. It's not like the complete end of the world, but assuming everything else fits, I'm not sure why this is made so much smaller than everything else. But yes, it's supposed to go kind of around the waist, and then you can kind of see here is that, and then it connects to that. So again, not the end of the world. I can buy another clasp like this and just attach them both to the side pieces, or I can get more of these and just make it quite a bit longer. So it's not the complete end of the world, but it is odd that it doesn't even come close to fitting. All right, so next are her armored bracelet things. They are put together through a crisscross design using these red strings. So, you know, a little bit of extra work on your part if you're making this. But overall they look good. They're made of a nice material. Nothing really crazy to say about them. They've got the design printed, again, with that sparkle, which is nice. It doesn't really come with like an instruction manual, but if you look at the pictures, you can kind of make a pretty good guess onto how it's supposed to work. I'll tell you when I actually have it on if it was particularly difficult or if it wasn't too bad. But there they are, and it's one string for each bracelet. Alright, so next I'm going to talk hair accessories. So here are the pieces that go in her hair. They are a button. I don't know if you've ever tried to keep anything in a wig. It's just not going to happen. So I will just put it in with the buttons when I do this review. I have a feeling it's going to slide out though. So what I'm going to do is add on the inside probably like a barrette or something to just kind of clamp it so that it doesn't move as much. Luckily it's not like Mona's things that just dangle onto nothingness. There is something for my hair to clip onto, so that is those parts. And then this is the top of her head. So she does have red ribbon that comes off of the top of her head. You can kind of see there. I kind of wish they had something a little bit better to secure it. So this is metal here. Now, I'm not really sure. It also came with this. I have tried looking all over to see if this is something to do with the headpiece. See, it has these bobby pins, these little gold bobby pins that make me think it's something to do with this. And there's this triangle, but I cannot for the life of me figure out what this is supposed to be, or how it's supposed to work, or what it is. It doesn't say anywhere what it is. So, I don't know. If you happen to have this cosplay, or you just are really knowledgeable, I'd love to hear it because I don't know what this is supposed to be. Alright, so next are her gloves. She just wears just one finger of gloves, and then this is kind of just would go on her middle finger. See that? Two of them. Not too much crazy to say about them. There they are. I'm just glad that I don't have to wear full gloves because I hate wearing full gloves in cosplay. It makes it so much harder to do pretty much anything else. Alright, so I did get the shoes because I had shoes that would work perfectly fine for them, but they still come with the socks anyway, which is great because she's got these cute little bows there. And finally, the last thing before I try it on is her choker. It's just this nice gold here. It seems to like be wrapped around here, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere, which is really nice. And it overall just looks cool. And I got like the flower here and the little tassel. It's an interesting feeling. I can't quite describe it. It's definitely not something you typically feel on like a choker, but as long as it works, I'd say, and it's better than a ribbon. So, yes. Alright, I think that about sums everything up, so I'm gonna go try her on super speedy quick, and we will see how it all turned out. Yay! I'm like in the middle of getting into Ayaka, and I forgot to mention it did come with a petticoat. That's all. Alright, so there it all is. When I said I will quickly get into this, that was a lie. This took forever to get into. Sorry my wig keeps sliding up a lot, but yeah. So before I get into all of the quality things and anything like that, I did want to mention how long the shipping did actually take. So it was supposed to come out in December, and it actually arrived technically at the very end of October. So that was pretty cool. What in the world is this? So it did arrive quite a bit earlier than expected. Now I did pay for the more expensive shipping because, like I said, I was a little worried on if it would actually get here in time or not. But luckily that all worked out okay, and here it is. So yes, now let's get into the actual like review part. Alrighty. So I think I'm gonna go from top to bottom. That's probably gonna be the easiest way to keep track of everything. So very top is her hair accessory. It's kind of supposed to like be like boo, and we tried to like pin it into the ponytail, and it works a little bit, but it's still not perfect. I can't help but to feel like maybe that triangle thing has something to do with it, but I just don't know what it is or how it works. Maybe I can try emailing them and see if they have an answer. But continuing down, these little hair clips, they seem to be staying okay. I think over a long con, they're going to keep going like shoo, 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 shoo. So it is on my list to fix, but honestly, I think you could probably get away without fixing these and it would still work out really well. Because I've had these on for a little bit and they've stayed relatively in their same spot because they close pretty tight. But over a long con, it is something you probably have to keep an eye on. Next is her little choker thing. This is perfectly fine. I don't really have any issues with it. Works fine. It looks good. So this next kind of combo part is sort of interesting. So I got the same size that I got Barbara, which was their largest size that they offer, which is an extra large. Barbara was pretty much a perfect fit outside of my chest, but everything else was pretty much a perfect fit. This is not, you can't tell, but if I breathe a little bit too hard, the entire thing snaps apart. So that kind of sucks because when you're at a con, you want to, you know, breathe and eat and sit. I cannot do any of those things in this cosplay. So pretty much everything is too small. I don't think there was a single part that isn't too small. The dress part, we had trouble getting the zipper up. I had to wear a waist trainer to fix that, and it did fix it. This is on the last buttons that they could possibly go on, but if I breathe a little bit too hard, or certainly if I were to eat, if I were to sit down, any of those things would cause the buttons to just snap open. These wrist parts fit fine. These are all fine and dandy. Nothing too major there. Although I will admit this part was a little confusing and I still am not sure if I have it right. But, yeah. I already talked about that this wasn't going to fit, and it doesn't, but it was a pretty easy fix. I just actually added safety pins, and you can't really see them because of how the bow is. This belt part, you can kind of see here, it's supposed to actually go kind of underneath, but because this is so tight, I don't know if it could fit anything underneath it, so right now I kind of have it above it. But it seems to work okay for holding up these side pieces, and the bow is a little heavy. I don't know why I'm talking when you can't hear me. The bow is a little heavy, so it does sometimes kind of like whap. But overall, it's really nice, and the vision looks nice and everything. They're all attached fine. This petticoat, can't really see it. The petticoat that it came with is kind of a bit too big. I feel like that it was a hoop petticoat, and I don't, it's a little bit too much for me. I think I'm going to replace it with a personal petticoat, just because I feel like it's just a little bit too big. Now, the socks that you really can't see at all, sorry about that. I can't move, I can't bend, so I can't lift up my leg. They fit fine, actually. Those turned out okay, so that's really cool. So yeah, that's kind of the top to bottom quick speed run version, so I'll get into my thoughts. So I suppose my thoughts with this cosplay is that this cosplay is stunning and probably the best Ayaka out there if you are thin. So it's unfortunate that if you don't fit into these really small group of sizings with a lot of cosplay shops, that you're kind of forced to get lesser quality. a lot of the higher quality things tend to, you know, be exclusively for smaller sizes. But yeah, here it is. I haven't decided yet what I am going to do with the sizing things for Katsucon. Obviously, it is not realistic for me to never sit down and never eat and never breathe when in a cosplay. So, obviously, I'm sure some people would say lose some weight, and I would agree, but it's really hard for me to. But I will certainly try my best. So, yeah. So I guess what I'm getting at is if you think you can fit into the DokiDoki sizing, I would highly recommend this because it is so beautifully put together and the materials they used are really high quality and I generally like every part of it. But it's just really difficult to fit into. So if you are somebody who doesn't think you can fit into it, I would recommend, unfortunately, just getting maybe a lesser quality one. I know that Uowo has a pretty good quality Ayaka that they have added some more sizing for, so hopefully we'll see some more stuff like that in the future. But so that's that. So with all of that in mind, it's kind of hard to rate this because the cosplay itself, I would say, is like a 9 out of 10. It's really well constructed and really well put together. But on me, with the sizing issues, which again, I got the exact same size that I had gotten from them prior. And I know it is possible that I could have gained some weight, but I did actually just wear Barbara like a couple days ago at the recording of this. But anyway, I would give this, like, for me, maybe like a 6 out of 10. But in terms of just like as a review for the quality of the cosplay, I think it deserves like a 9 out of 10. It's very well constructed. So I would definitely recommend it if you are smaller because it's really well put together. So that's it, I believe, for this review. I have another Genshin cosplay coming. I'm already pretty aware that the next one that I have coming probably won't fit. I don't even say probably, it won't fit. But I tried to contact the company. This is actually Uowo was the other one about getting a bigger size, and they ghosted me twice. I'll talk about that more in the actual review video. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a super cool time, and let me know if you're going to Katsucon. Alrighty, bye-bye!